Hi, my name is KiwiKiller67 and this is my submission video for SGDQ 2017 of Rush 2049 Beginner Circuit for the Nintendo 64. So we're just going to start here on the first track. This is a very fast-paced futuristic racing game that does have collectibles, but the collectibles aren't really important in this category. Basically, we're just going to try and complete the races as fast as possible to get through the circuit using a wide variety of shortcuts that are available throughout each track. So, Beginner Circuit involves 4 tracks, completing them in both forward and reverse with the AI active, and you win the circuit by getting first place in as many races as possible, which is significantly easier if you use shortcuts like this that allow you to cut through large portions of the stage, and by resetting your point at specific areas by just tapping C up, so that you can open other shortcuts such as this tube here and make it to the finish line as quickly as possible. So, a little bit of a description about this game. It came out in the year 2000 by a publisher, Midway. It was a game that was one of my first N64 games that I really got attached to, and there's a lot of nostalgia for me towards it. Unfortunately, we just missed that underground shortcut, which does lose a bit of time, but we can instantly respawn upon death and continue the race. It's a very fun, fast-paced game. Lots of interesting movement tech, and although cars themselves don't directly influence how fast you're going and your turning radius, what does affect it is the parts you use for your cars. So we allow Beginner Circuit to use all parts and all cars unlocked, so that way we can go through as quickly as we can, and it makes the game very accessible to beginners. So we got the shortcut this time. We'll use the respawn glitch now at the end of this tunnel to immediately place us near the tube shortcut that we opened earlier. Pass through the tube and come out at the finish line. So this is track 2, called Height. This track is a large loop that has some very interesting, difficult shortcuts. So we can hit that switch to spawn this ramp, cross this ramp, go up this platform, and if we time it right, land in this tunnel. And ideally we would have continued on our merry way. Get launched out the tunnel and go along this dirt path, and then coming up there is a very sharp corner that you would have to slow down in order to get around. However, there's a gap here on the side that we can just completely skip the turn. Unfortunately, we didn't get that landing. We'll see if we can get it the next lap around. And make a jump to avoid that tunnel. Enter this building. And come out near the lap line. So we'll attempt to get this shortcut again. If we don't get the lineup, we'll go for the backup shortcut. We got a good lineup. We even got the silver coin. Shoutouts to the silver coin. So the coins are used to unlock cars in a normal playthrough. Unfortunately, we didn't get a good pass through the tunnel. But the coins unlock additional cars, such as the one I'm currently using. Having all silver coins unlocked in both this mode and the stunt mode unlocks this specific car. There's a wide variety of vehicles, which would be one of the donation incentives for this run is choosing the vehicle. And I will show off some of the options at the end of the run. Unfortunately, we missed the building and we almost got the secondary shortcut where we could just hop down the hill and continue on without going through the building. But the main goal is to go as fast as possible without exploding. So let's get this shortcut in its completeness this time. Don't spin. So because of the handling we use, it gives us an increase in our max speed and our acceleration, but it makes the cars very difficult to handle. As they spin out of control quite easily. And then we can just use our wings to make sure we, as best as we can, land flat on the ground. So one more time, go through the building. And we'll move on to track 3, which is called Civic. So we can skip this entire loop-de-loop section in the beginning by just coming over here, going off-road to this bridge. Saves a couple seconds. And there's a few different routes that are all about the same time for this track. So, I'm going to do my best to attempt to show both of the ones that are typically used. One is to take this lower pathway, go right through those pillars, and we can come over here and take this cool side road that was built to jump over the main road. And we're going to line ourselves up with this tree and jump back onto the main road. Make sure we land correctly. And then fly down the hill. And then there's another shortcut tunnel over here to the side. And then we'll go right back over the initial tunnel, or the initial bridge that we were on. And this time we'll go along this path. Hopefully we won't get hit by a train. And we're going to hit this switch. And unfortunately we missed that path. We'll go for it again next lap. that ramp can be a little bit more difficult to land on than that blue platform that I did the first lap around. So we'll just do the lap 1 strats again. And so as I said, there's a wide variety of shortcuts for this. Every single track has shortcuts built for both the forward and reverse tracks, which we will see the reverse tracks momentarily. Jump down here again. Also, another interesting property about the wings is they do keep you in the air longer. So, in order to land on the ground, you want to make sure that you are holding your wings for the correct amount of time, so that you don't go flying over wherever you were trying to land. So we landed on the road this time. We're going to go through this waterfall. And we were going to go through that tunnel, which would have us land up here, back on the main road that we were on before. But because we have so much speed typically coming out of that tunnel, we do this jump over the main road again and enter this secondary tunnel, which then puts us at the bottom of the hill past the plains. And then on the final lap, we'll just keep going straight and reach the finish line. And so, this course Metro is where things really start to get interesting in terms of movement tech, where you can do something that we generally refer to as pre-turn. So if you brake as you go over a slope and you angle your control stick in the direction you want to go, you'll turn in midair at about a 45-degree angle. And that makes it extremely useful for lining up these tight turns. And so you'll be seeing me do this a lot in this track and in the reverse version of this track. So we go up this ramp. And we'll come up here. Make a sharp turn and enter this little side tunnel. This side tunnel allows us to skip a large portion of curvy track that tends to make you lose a decent amount of your speed. Just go down in a straightaway, hit this switch over here to open a shortcut. We need to slow down a little so that we don't hit that door. Go through a loop-de-loop and come out right by the exit.
2 laps to go.
Reset ourselves so that we slow down and repeat. That's fine. Go down the side road again. Unfortunately, did not get a good pre-turn on that. Also, if we were to hit the trolleys, they cause us to explode. So, something that we always have to be keeping in mind is where the trolleys are at a specific time. And so, the trolleys are always in the same place, as well as the trains, based upon your in-game time, which is shown on the right. And so, there's an alternative strat that can be done to get around this turn, but it can't usually be done on lap 2 because the train is right at the end of the tunnel where you come out. And it was that train specifically that I was referring to. Once again, go through the loop-de-loop shortcut. Watch out for the trolley.
Final lap.
And we're going to show off a different strat when we go to that orange platformy like area. That's generally about the same speed as the strat that I did on the first 2 laps. So we'll come up here. And we're going to hug over to the left and land on the platform above. There's a switch here. And we can open that gate. Come over here to the left. And unfortunately we blew up on the loop-de-loop. But the loop-de-loop will take us back into that cavern and make us come out by where the train is. So once again, finish this loop. Avoid the trolley. And then something that speeds up the ending of the race a bit quicker is by killing your speed by rubbing against the side of the track. However, if you blow up your car, it plays an additional cutscene of your car respawning. So you have to be a bit careful. So now we're doing the tracks in reverse. So we can access some different shortcuts. This one here, where we go underneath about half the track. And then come out around the first turn where we would go underground in the forward version of the track. And unfortunately I hit that wall. The AI tends to do a bit silly of things and blow up. Go through this turn. Do a slight pre-turn.
2 laps to go.
Watch out for the train. Somehow I hit the building. This track can be a little difficult just because of the jumps. It's a bit harder to control sometimes. You tend to spin a bit, and you can't turn as easily.
Final lap.
come over here, go back into the underground one last time. The train cycles should be fine, where I shouldn't need to slow down too much, do a little pre-turn. Let's make this a clean climb of this hill. That's fine. And so now we'll do track 2 in reverse. This is actually one of my favorite tracks to do in beginner circuit, due to the interesting shortcuts that you have access to. And so, in going through track 2 on forward, I'd mentioned that there was that button to open a side shortcut. This is the ramp at the bottom of it. And so we can take this ramp up. And then pop back out on the main track. Unfortunately, we didn't land the cleanest, but we can go back on the dirt patch that we take on the forward version and hit this button on the side to open a shortcut. Come over to the right, hop down on the dirt path, jump on the green boosters, land on the main track, and a very nice clean first lap, apart from that one landing.
2 laps to go.
Cut that corner a little to save a little bit of time. Get off the wall. So we'll go up the ramp again. Follow the green path. Angle was a little off. Come down here. Hit the button again. Jump back down into the shortcut. So close. So, if you aren't fast enough, the cycle is a bit tight on the second lap, where you can get hit by the propeller, which does cost you a bit of time if you have to respawn, but it's okay. Another interesting thing you can do that does decrease the lag around the game, but you don't actually increase your movement speed relative to the game. It just makes the game run smoother. Oops. Is you can go into first person on N64 and everything renders a lot better, because it doesn't have to pay attention to the details of the car. So we'll go for this once more. Unfortunately, Because I missed the ramp, we did not make the cycle, and we hit the windmill. But this is still okay. So that's reverse height. Now we'll move on to reverse civic. So immediately, we're just going to jump down into this shortcut. And this is a shortcut that was in the large mountain that we were jumping around on the forward version. It takes a very long time to actually enter the mountain. So what we're going to do, if we had avoided that fan, is just respawn at the end of the tunnel. And that will place us about here, where we can jump into here, land on this side road, press this switch, move the building, land on that road, avoid the train, and very quickly make it back to the beginning of the start. Can't talk. Trying to concentrate a little. That jump, or entering that tunnel at high speeds, is a lot more difficult than it seems, and actually requires a bit of concentration. But this track is significantly faster in reverse than it is in forward. So just respawn right there. Jump through the waterfall again. Make sure we hit the switch. Land here. Luckily, no train. And then we're going to go for a slightly risky strat at the end of lap 3. That was a very nice lap. Reset. Re-enter the tunnel. Unfortunately, we didn't get it all 3 laps. That's fine. So there's a backup shortcut. We can go back in through here. Follow the blue tunnel. Jump over the bridge. Come over here, and this is the risky strat I was talking about. So we can't take this laps 1 and 2 because we need to go in that tunnel, but we want to try and land on there, which we did. That was very nice.
3, 2, 1, rush!
If we fell off that platform, it would play that extra death cutscene that I had mentioned previously. Which loses about 10 seconds. So we're going to immediately press that button to open the loop-de-loop shortcut that we took in the forward version of Metro. Attempt not to hit the trees. Avoid the train. And enter to the loop-de-loop shortcut. come out of here, and continue on our path. So this is another area where pre-turns are extremely important. Take this shortcut, turn, land against that building, avoid the trolley, pre-turn, take this side path, pre-turn, avoid the trolley, and make our way back to the start line. Attempt to not blow up on the wall. And we'll continue on. So, there's two other extremely active runners of this game. Old School L Tribe, who has the record in this category, who may also be submitting this for SGDQ, and if he does, we are willing to do this as a race. And a more recent person, Dustin Stetler, who introduced me to the fact that there was even a PC version of this game, which has its own advantages and disadvantages. Oops. And has certainly helped with... I unfortunately did not have enough speed for that shortcut. Both of them have helped tremendously with the routing and pushing this game. Our community is very, very young. Only got leaderboards and categories all set up on speedrun.com in the last couple months. It's been a really exciting couple months just seeing how quickly we've all improved at the game. And there's lots of very cool, interesting strats, and I guess interesting things about the game in general. This being originally developed for N64, being available on a wide variety of platforms afterwards. It was released on the Dreamcast, then the Dreamcast version was ported to PlayStation, GameCube, Xbox, PC, that we're a very welcoming community that would just love to show off the game. It's a very cool, unique racing game that we all feel has a lot of potential, and hopefully we'll get the chance to show it off for SGDQ. So, get our pre-turn. Not that great a pre-turn, but it'll work. Bad pre-turn. And so I hope you consider this run for SGDQ 2017, and thank you for watching.